Hello, everyone. It's another beautiful day on the show Masterclass with Kunle Afolayan. If you've been following this journey, we've been treating filmmaking from the perspective of the figurine Araromire, which is one of our films. And we've gone through different stages and different aspects, of filmmaking as far as figurine is concerned. We've treated production design. We've treated recce, casting for the film, talked about the crew, and all of that. And this time around, we are going to talk about directing. What is directing? Who is a director? What are the roles and functions of a director? Let's go on a break. And when we come back, we're going to nitty-gritty of what happened as far as figurine is concerned.
Action!
Okay, welcome back. So, who is a director? To a lot of people, or to different people, directing means different things. But to me, directing is not just about being the boss. For me, directing means you're everybody's assistant. You're everybody's laborer, pretty much, because you deal and work with every department in filmmaking. Production design can't go on without you. The script can't be broken down without you. The shots cannot be framed without you. Even getting the actors into the right mood and directing the actors really cannot be done without you as a director. So for me, the first thing is when an idea comes, or if anybody pitches anything to me, I look at it from the point of view of a director, and I also look at it from the point of view of a producer. And I try to always strike a balance in a way that the two does not conflict. Instead of conflicting, I try to merge them and find, a balance that will bring the project to life. Directing figurine was, well, I wouldn't say easy, but it was seamless because it was something that an idea that I have conceived for a very long time before eventually, before we were able to shoot it. The entire concept from scripting was also my idea as a director. And then when we got to the time to execute, getting the right location to fit into my vision and the visual I've always had was also not as difficult. And this is because, like I said, it was a long journey. Now, my role as a director started with getting the script to the stage where I was comfortable enough to say, okay, this is a good enough draft for us to even, start shooting. That is the first thing. Ensuring that at least the script is ready. The draft you're working with, it's something that, of course, you can never have a final draft. When you get on set, you're still going to change one or two things. But I got the figurine script to the point where, as a director, I was comfortable enough. Secondly, I was the casting director, and I worked with a few other people who helped with the casting. So that way, my role as a director and also casting director also got balanced, in a very good way. Now, getting the right crew, as a director, sometimes you need crew that will make your work easy. When you have the right crew who believe in the vision, and then you guys run through what you want to achieve, how you want what to be done, it makes your work, a lot easier. After all the prep, after ensuring that you have the right costumes, and you have the right makeup person, you have the right cast, and you have the right crew, when you get to the set, some directors like to focus more on directing the actors. Some directors like to focus more on the technical details, framing of the pictures and all of that. And some directors like to work on both and find a balance. That is the kind of director that I am. So with Figurine, I worked with Yinka, who was the cinematographer, and then, the lighting guys and the sound. Whenever a set is ready, by the time Partner puts the set together, we'll first have to rehearse with the actors. And then you do the proper plotting of the scene. Now, when you plot, of course, you look at the monitor, but as you're looking at the monitor, you're also looking at the lighting to see if the lighting pattern or style actually fits what you have in mind. So you're not just focusing on, oh, look, I want this actor to give me his best performance. I just want him to cry, or I just want them to show me emotions. No, your background, your set, your lighting, everything must align for that person's performance to, to come out as expected. So is this what you're scared of? This is what you're scared of. Yeah, now it's gone. It's gone.
Mommy! Junior!
Junior!
No!
Let's talk about directorial style. Different directors have, how they like to shoot, how they like to frame, how they like their lighting. In fact, there are some people, if you mention their name, people will be like, oh, that is Scorsese style. Oh, that is Tunde Kelani style. Oh, that is Kunle Afolayan style. Different people. If you watch a lot of films by Tadio Gidon, you will see that, okay, he likes to stretch his films. Most of them are 3 hours. And if someone is crying, the person can cry and cry. And, and that scene won't stop until everybody at home or everybody in the cinema start crying too. So different people have their styles. So it is your role as a director, to also determine if you really want to, how deep you want to go when it comes to playing with people's emotions. How deep you want to go if you're doing comedy. Do you want to make it slapstick, or you just want to make it comical but serious at the same time? Different directors, have different style. And also when it comes to framing, some directors like to just have like a big wide and allow it breathe. And those are the kind of directors that feel that film is art. And they'll just say, look at nature, let's enjoy, leave it to breathe and all of that. Some people like to just, they can shoot a whole film using a long lens, or maybe say from 50 upward. And most of the scenes you're gonna see, most of the scenes will be tight, a lot of tight shots.
Ngozi. Lara. You. You think I didn't know, huh?
But that was a long time ago. Long before I even knew Mona.
Still, you slept with your best friend's husband.
In those kind of films. And some people just like when it's bright. So different directors have different style. And look, as a director, whether new or old, or, you can also adapt your own style, or form your own style and say, look, most of my film, I want to always drop a signature. I want people to see something, that will be synonymous with your name. I never really noticed until, I didn't pay attention to this, but one day somebody saw me and called and said, how come you always have water, like ocean or sea or something in your films? And I'm like, no. And he said, no, look at the Rakpada, and then look at the Figurine, then look at the CEO. Then he started, mentioning all of these films. I'm like, okay, that's true. Maybe it's because I'm just a lover of nature. So there are things that when people see, they'll be like, people will be like, okay, you don't even do straight English speaking films. And I'll be like, okay, that is my style. So you also can develop and adapt your own style, as far as filmmaking is concerned. Now, when, I don't think there's any production that has ever happened where everything just goes smoothly and all of that. As a director, you're the head. The director is the overall head of the entire set. So apart from having understanding or the knowledge of, how to direct actors or crew or all of that, you also need to have the leadership quality. You must have leadership quality and ability, because if anything goes wrong, you have to be the one to solve the problem. Take, for example, in my case, when I double as producer and director, it means everything falls on me. If, for example, you have other producers, all right, and they are meant to solve a lot of these problems for you, but if those problems persist, you as the director can't even function. So you have to be a problem solver. Sometimes you might be filming and your light will go off, your 2K will go off, or your HMI might go off. And maybe you have that location for just that day. You have to find a way to quickly improvise so that you can complete the shoot. And man, there was a film in Citation, something happened, and one of our extra, the actor disappeared, and we're meant to shoot this scene. We are meant to complete it because that is the only bit that was tying down the rest of the actors. And there are meant to be 4 people. We started with 4 people. And right there on set, we couldn't wait. And I said, look, change the dialogue. Let's say, okay, the person ran away. You just have to find a solution so that you can always move on. And there are so many other roles that you have to play when it comes to solving issues and dealing with challenges, as a director. Also, another thing is, look, sometimes you might have on your set cranky actors or actors with ego or actors who believe, they know it all. And it is your role. If you want the shoot to continue and if you want the film to come out well and you want the best, you have to find a way to ensure that your actors are in right frame of mind, because if not, you can't even carry out your role as a director, and your production might end up shutting down. And if the actor gets fired and all of that, then you're back to square one. So you have to find a way to mediate between the actors and the crew, between the producers and the crew. That leadership ability is so important. So still talking about the quality of a good director, and the ability to have leadership quality. I remember when we were shooting Figurine, there was a time, a day when, of course, after we moved to the Lagos location, and the location house where we're using, which is the same place we're all sleeping, the actors, the female actors were in one room. A lot of the male, the children and the makeup and some other female were in another room. Because one, I was a producer and director, and also people like Ramsey and all of that, of course, they are superstars. They deserve, superstar treatment. But because a lot of people believe in the project, Ramsey and I and some of the crew members decided to sleep outside at the balcony. We gave the rooms to other people and we were sleeping, outside. And there was this day when frustration really set in. And I remember Ramsey woke up like 4 a.m. in the morning, and he went downstairs and he was riding core bike. And he was just making noise. And I woke up and I was like, Ramsey, what's going on? He said, no, I'm frustrated, and I said, but you're going to wake people? He said, yes, I want. But look, the next in the morning, everything was back to normal. We all decided that we are going to finish the shoot. So as a director, I had to mediate between crew, and the actors and the welfare people when they are misbehaving. And, so you must be the father on that very set, if your role is a director. Don't just focus on, oh, I just want to make sure my frames are okay, or I just want to make sure the actors, are acting proper. No, you have to see to everything that happens on set. Let's go on break. When we come back, we'll continue this. All right, welcome back. Look, if you talk about choosing directing as a career, to some people is just fun, and it's nice when they just call you director, and you're just in control of things, and you just shout at actors, and you shout at the crew, and you shout at everybody. Different people, like I said, have different style. Now, in the case where the producer is different from the director, a lot of times there's always some sort of clash or clashes, because the producer just want to get his film done, manage the set and ensure everything goes well, so that they can complete the film and release it and make their money back. Some directors, have their dreams, and they go on some set and just use the set as a guinea pig. Or, they some directors are very adamant about, this is how I want it. If it is not like that, then I'm not gonna move. And then, oh, this actor is not giving me what I want, so I'm gonna walk out on the set. Or this crew is, for me, most times it's difficult for me to think just as a director. It's difficult, and maybe it's because of my experience and what I've done with the projects that I have done, even the ones where I was hired just as a director. At the end of the day, I'm always getting involved in, advising and giving submission on how best to ensure that the project is done and is completed. I never will want to be part of any project that will start and not finish. And I would never, if for any reason the project, gets stuck, my name would never be the reason why the film is not finished. So that is something you also need to be mindful of. Your name is so important, because if you're hired as a director and you get on this set and everybody complains about you, they complain about how nasty you are, and the fact that, actors are not comfortable around you, crew are not comfortable around you. Even if you're the best, and also you can't manage time, no producer will want to hire you. So this is something we need to really be mindful of, and all of this we manage to balance on the set of the figurine, which is why at the end of the day, even with all the challenges that we had, even with all the issues that we had, we still manage to complete the film. On a last note before I leave, I would just like to also share this, with you. While we were shooting figurine, in the course of moving from one location to another, while we were going to the beach house, we had a very terrible, accident. Our generator fell in the ocean, and the crew and everybody still managed to wait, and and we managed to pull some small resources, small generators together and all of that, and we still managed to shoot. We couldn't rig all our heavy lights, but as a director, the DOP and I sat and were like, okay, maybe we should change our lighting pattern a little bit so that we can use the available light. Don't be a director that will always insist that, look, if I don't have 12K, I will not shoot. Some people will say, if I don't have gimbal, I can't shoot. Some people will say, if I don't have slider, they can't shoot. Before all these things were invented, films were made. Amazing films were made. Some people will say, if I don't have drone, I can't do, high angle and blah, blah, blah. There's no point. Learn to make use, learn to manage, and be reasonable, when dealing with producers. That is very important. So that'll be today on Masterclass with Kunle Afolayan from the perspective of the figurine. And we're dealing with directing. And we've talked about the different aspects of, the role of a director, the responsibilities of a director, and the do's and don'ts of a director from the perspective of the figurine. I don't know everything. I can only share, the little that I know. I hope you've enjoyed today's session. All right, in the next episode, we're going to be dealing with sound design and music for film, but from the perspective of the figurine. Until then, I remain Kunle Afolayan. Ire.